Here I am, Leon C., aka Morpheus. You are now listening to the Academy of Wow. I am your professor of enlightenment and our craziness. And oftentimes behind a little bit of crazy, there's a little bit of truth if you are willing to listen and to accept. It is always going to be considered as crazy because it's not things that you normally hear, or things that you're not allowed to hear because nobody's allowed to tell you these things. So, we are going to go ahead and get into the lesson here today. It's going to be very simple. I'm going to let you know right now, ladies. This isn't bashing you. You must know this, and it's not because I'm trying to raise the man and put the woman down. No. Because in one of my recent audios, I've already made an audio called Raise the Woman and Put the Man Down. And I had to describe that because that's the way the society is operating. Okay? But I'm not coming at you from that angle. And there's a lot of Crimson Capsule or RP in this, but it's more of a warning to you. And I got to put myself in this scenario because I care about your children. I care about your future. And I have to show you with a bit of evidence through this lesson. You'll get it through this lesson that I mean business. And it's going to give you a little bit more about the type of man that I am. Let me give you, first of all, how about this? How can I come out with this angle? A little bit about myself, just a little bit, because it's about the story. I have to say this, because if I give this to you first, you, ladies and gentlemen, can use this as tools to understand the story better. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm not saying this to make myself look like a big macho man. I am not trying to bring attention to myself, nor am I trying to beat on my chest. I am not that type of guy. As your professor, I have to do this for the sake of giving you a lesson. Okay? So I've gave you multiple audios and lessons that described a little bit of myself. Okay? So let me give you these tools. These tools are going to help you in this story. So, first of all, I do martial arts. I am very good at martial arts. Okay? I'm going to say that I've graduated. All right? I know a lot about military training. I'm very capable of handling my own. If you was in a room with me and everybody else, there is a 99% chance that I will take care of you. I will protect you. As long as I can survive long enough to do just that. And I don't get anything between my eyes because I'm not invincible. I bleed like everybody else. And I fail like everybody else too. So I'm not Superman. I'm not perfect. But you're going to walk out of that room alive and well if I am there. Do you comprehend what I'm saying? I talk a lot about protection. And I talk a lot about protecting people, caring about people, and being the leader. Because that's what I do. It's who I am. It's my nature. And I got to be honest with you. I love what I do. Okay? No, I am not an officer. I'm not a police officer, nor have I ever was. Okay? No, I don't work for the FBI or nobody like that. My training and my studies have been independent, and it's because I have a goal to be the best version of myself. And I gave you an audio about this, so I'm not going to go into details with it. I told you about how I thought and how I felt when I was a child. So it's not going to change now. If anything, I've gotten better and a whole lot more sharp. Okay? I do physical training on the side every now and then. I do help people with their questions. I do know a lot about the health field. I know much about the anatomy, about science, and all the necessities that is equivalent to your own physical success. Okay? So I do go to the gym. I do pump iron. And I'm somebody that you probably would recognize. So again, I'm not beating on my chest, but if you've seen 5 men in the room, you will. It's a very high probability and possibility that you will be able to pick me out of the 5 or the 10 guys that might be there. Okay? So use this as a tool. Hold on to this, because this is what you're going to need in this story. So let's begin. Okay. I took a shopping trip. Okay. Now, in this shopping trip, normally I park at a far distance for a reason. I park at a far distance because I know lazy, incapable, I don't have time for myself, I am in the rat race, common individual. Everybody's going to park up in the front. There are a lot of handicapped people. There are some who are elderly. And there are many youthful, younger, immature, because I'm youthful and I'm young and all that great stuff, but I'm going to put it like this, immature boys and girls who has been born yesterday, who don't know anything about physical exercise or activity. They themselves will park all the way up there to the front because they're too lazy to walk. So if you go to a major grocery store or even a mall, if it's out in the big parking lot, do your research and stand at a distance and look at where all the cars are. All the cars are going to be parked where that entrance is. Okay? That tells you the facts right there. Most people just don't want to do the work. And again, it states what I just told you as an accurate assessment. However, I park at a distance because I'm smarter than the average cattle. I know better than that. I know better than to put myself in the herd of the lazies and the, no pun or attack on you, crippled, because you can be crippled mentally, okay? Not physically, mentally. And so I do that because I don't want nobody bang my car. Of course, there's multiple reasons. Don't want nobody to scratch it up. Everybody's over there, so the chances of you getting your car banged and your bumper hit, or someone running a grocery cart on the side of your door is going to be a higher probability. Do you understand? So smart people who drive Corvettes, Lamborghinis, Jaguars, Rolls Royce, or high-end automobiles, they're going to park at a distance because they already know every moron is up there in front of the door, and you do not want to put yourself in that bracket. And so I did just that. I park at a far distance, and as I usually do, everything's fine, right? I go into the place and I do my own thing, right? Get my shopping list together. I make my purchases, mind my own business, do well for myself. And I walk out with my grocery cart, and lo and behold, I see a Camaro parked not next to my car, ladies and gentlemen. It was on my car. What I mean is, it wasn't touching it, but this car was so close. It was on my driver's side door. I couldn't get into my driver door. Thanks be to the universe, he didn't scratch my car or bang into it. But this guy was so close to the car. Listen, I couldn't get in. Now you could say, well, you can get in from the passenger side and crawl over the seat, which, of course, that's another step to do if the driver's not going to come outside. Knowing my temper for zero tolerance, again, I gave you an audio in the past, and I told you I have zero tolerance for idiots. Zero. When you are at zero, that means you don't care, and I don't care. I don't need your excuses or your explanations. You're finished. You're done. I've been like that for a long time now, and I'm not changing no time soon. And so I stand there to calm myself down and reassess the situation, and I look around to see if I can find the owner. I didn't move. I'm just looking at it, looking around with my head to see. And so before I begin to just go ahead and get in the passenger side and let it be and remain calm, deal with the situation another day, and just thank the universe that my car wasn't damaged, I wanted to know who this fool was specifically. And I see this kid. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, mothers, this is why you have the title here. This is the story. This is where it begins. Listen carefully. I need you to check me out on this one. So he walks out of the store at a very hasteful pace. Not that he was rushing to go anywhere, just his age. And if I didn't tell you what his age was, it's 18, but I'm going to tell you how I got a chance to know that his age was 18. He was, first of all, I noticed that he had his hair up in a ponytail. Listen, one of those man buns on top, you know what I mean? And he's walking out there with a very thin t-shirt on. He was out of shape. He looked pudgy. His pants was hanging down a little low around his waist. I'm not going to tell you what culture he is, because I don't want you thinking that I'm pointing fingers at that culture, because he could be white, he could be black, he could be Mexican, but it won't matter at this point. What matters is the story here, because I need you to learn something, not put in cultural differences here. So he's walking out to the vehicle, right? And he just so happened to catch me because I was getting ready to get in the passenger seat. I'm walking over in front of my car now to go to the passenger side. So he comes across me, and I turn my head to see that this is the car that belongs to him. He can get in his driver's side door, of course. It's on the left side, correct? We are in America. This is a U.S. car, so it's on the left-hand side, driver's side, okay? Not the right side. And I stopped him. I said, hold on. Is this your car? And he said, yeah, man, what's up? And y'all know me. I told you, zero tolerance. I don't give a flying bat about your explanation, your stupidity. So I put the groceries down on the ground because I didn't have a lot of refrigerated items anyway, so it really don't matter to me. You know, just boxed items. So I walk over there and I said, you can't see? So what do you mean, man? What do you mean? I said, you can't see? I said, I said, come here. Now, I wasn't being aggressive, okay? Absolutely not. No, not like that. But with a calm voice, I said, hey, can you step over here? You can't see. And I said, look, and I pointed towards my driver's side door and showed him just how close he was, just an inch off of tearing my rearview mirror off, side mirror, and probably even banging my door if he had a passenger. That would have been the only reason why he'd probably move over, because she or he would have to get out on the driver's side door. But anyhow, I said, you realize you parked very close to my car. Not only do I feel uncomfortable about this, I wonder, why did you do this? Why did you do this? And this is a big parking lot. There's 2 lines right here. Clearly these lines, not showed them. Try to be nice here. Listen, because clearly his mommy didn't raise him right. And I'm going to say mommy because I know the story here. So I said, listen, you don't know how to park your car between these 2 lines? Oh, man. And this is where it began. Listen carefully. This is where it begins, mothers. This is where you are held accountable for this. Instead of him realizing that he was wrong, instead of apologizing, remember, 90% of the women, they are they are very, what do you call that? Resistant towards accountability. It's never their fault for anything. They want to blame men for every decision that they make. When they raise a boy, when they raise up kids, those kids are going to pick up the energies from their single mothers one way or the other, and even have their same personality. Because this guy he was like a feminine type of boy. You know, his voice was very, very soft. You say, well, because he was 18. Well, that's one reason. But I understand. No, I know boys who are younger than him who don't talk like that, and they don't swivel their head around and have this type of hip activity that this boy was having. All right. So I pretty much picked up on everything because, you know, I study psychology. All right. I know a lot about body language and interrogation and all that stuff. So I know you before you come up to me. I'm sitting here. I understand everything about you already. And I'm going to treat you as your loved one until you tell me something differently. So I'm not going to prejudge you. I'm just going to let you explain yourself. And then I can just clear out whatever I thought about you. Okay? Anyhow, so instead of him looking at and reassess the situation, he said, what you talking about, man? You don't own this parking lot. He said, man, I can drive like this anytime I want to. I didn't hit your car, so what you tripping about? Listen, what you tripping about? What you tripping about, yo? He said, you know what, this is kind of crazy because, you know, why you park your car all the way out here? Uh-oh. Why you park your car all the way out here, homie? Why you park your car all the way out here? If you're worried about somebody parking all up near you like this, why you even drive your car? What you tripping on, man? You good. I calmed down here now. Now listen, my black stallion has red eyes. The black stallion I keep telling you about that's kicking the barn, because it's a demon. My black stallion is a devil. Do you understand? It kicks the barn because it needs no limitation. It don't like limitation, and it don't like stupid. So at this time, the black stallion woke up, and here he is. Red eyes. So I put my hands behind my back just to hear what this boy had to say. Knowing me, I don't talk. I don't listen. I'm not going to argue with you. There's nothing to argue about. With a guy of my position and status, all I got to do is lift up my big fist and pop you on top of your head and you on the ground, period. There is nothing to discuss. Either you do what I tell you to do, or you apologize and keep it moving, or your day is going to be ruined. But I'm nice about the situation, ladies. I'm real nice. So I said, oh, so that's what you think. So I said, so, sir, here I am. Listen, I never call anybody sir. Another thing, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I don't want to talk about this, but it's for the lesson. Just to let you know a little bit more about Leon C. Morpheus. If I call you sir, it's not because I'm saying it out of respect. It's because you got a problem. That's not, for me, that's not a form of respect, because I never call anybody sir. Never. Not even my father. I'm not going to call you sir. If I say sir, you are in trouble. You're in the dot, the red dot, and you're on the target. You need to be listening to what I say. If I say sir, put your head up and you better have your radar prepared. Or something else. So I say, sir, so you think it's okay to park like this and have the potential of damaging somebody's property and or not being accountable, because you do realize I can't get in my car, right? Here I am again, trying to just pace and breathe and just let it go, because to me it's not a big thing. It's not a big thing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care. I told you I was already all right because the car wasn't damaged. I could have gotten the passenger side seat. But as a professor, no, I'm not a real life professor. I told you, pretend professor, because you're in the academy right here. Okay, no, I don't do that for a living. So don't start tripping and being stupid because you don't listen. Got earwax in. I like to study and I like to learn every day. I've always used what I know based on facts, not based on my feelings, based on what is, not based on what I think and what I want a thing to be. So I asked him because I want to know where his mind was at. I need to understand how he was thinking so I can also use that to give it to you somewhere in the future. That's how I get my information half the time, with real life, with statistics, with what's really going on. So you yourself have something that's real, and I'm not up here telling you some BS just to entertain you. Do you understand? So get back to the story. And so when I asked him this, not only did he say, well, you know, all that old stuff, it's the parking lot, man, you shouldn't have your car out here. And I said, and again, I said, I can't get into my car because you parked right next to me like that. And that's, first of all, is disrespectful. Second of all, you have no concern and what do you call that, responsibility over anybody else. And of course you don't. But you need to be responsible for your actions because there's consequences behind what you do to someone else. Yeah, man, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, look here, man. Look here, man. Look here. He said, man, if you scared somebody hit your car, why are you bringing that out? I said, calm down, calm down. And here I am pulling out the psychology card here. Because I could have just snatched him up. I could have it would have been really easy to just, let me stop, ladies, because I'm going to get to this in a moment. What you do to your boys. So I stopped and I said, wait a minute. Okay, first of all, my name is, Leon C. Shook his hands. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, so what's up, man? What you want me to do? I said, listen. I said, tell me, I don't have a lot of time. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How old are you? Here we are. Listen. Yeah, man, I'm, that's when he told me his age. 18 years old. Told you. That's how I got it. I'm like, dang, man. And here I am. I'm prying even deeper. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right, bro. I got a garage. I got another vehicle, in there. I could have pulled out the other vehicle. Right now, I'm playing with his emotions. I'm in the forest right now. I am the lion, and I'm very, very, very low because I'm preparing to attack. That's what animals do. They're not going to come out and grab you until you are in that vulnerable position. Do you understand? And I did this psychologically and mentally on him. So I'm playing with him now. So I say, yeah, man, I could have brought that other vehicle out, but I live all by myself, and sometimes it don't work out like that. I try to go places to make myself, I try to go places and I park in places where it's safe enough for my vehicle, and, it just makes sense. I don't want to get scratched up, but so how about you? You got another car? What if somebody did you like, here we go. What if somebody did you like that? Somebody parked up to your door, and you can't get in. What you gonna do? You gonna be okay with that? And here we go, spilling the beans. 18-year-old moron. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Everybody ain't like you. I ain't got no house and I ain't got no car. I do live with my mom, though. I ain't even worried about it. My mom helped me get this. I was like, wait. What? What'd you just say? Wait a minute. I said, your mom helped you get this car? Yeah, man. My mom helped me get this. Here he is again, standing there, feminized, soft, redundant to himself. Ridiculous. Oh yeah, my mom helped me get this, man. But what about your dad? How would your dad feel about all this? Does he have a truck or something? I'm not trying to pry in your business. Here I am. Now I'm getting real close now. The lion. All I need to do is just lift up my paw and swipe, and he's done. So, no, man, my dad ain't been in my life. I hate that bleep, 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 bleep. That, N-word, bleep, expletive. He's a king sort of thing, to this guy that he practically never met. I said, what makes you say that, man? If he hasn't been in your life, then how would you know that he's like that? Because, that's what my mom said. Oh, wait a minute. What did you just say? What'd you just say? Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen, pump the brakes. What did he just say? What did he just say? Because my mom told me that's what he is. Moment of silence for a second. Now I got the full picture. My deer, the deer, is right there in my face now. As the lion, it's over. Game over. I got everything I needed. I evaluated this moron. I know his life story now. Everything's good. Everything is good now. So now, mentally, not physically, because I won't be able to talk to you right now if I did it physically. Could have. Mentally and psychologically, I already lift my big paw up and swiped his head off. He's done. Finish. I got the deer. And so here I come. Now I took the kid gloves off. Time for me to F you up. Or time for me to... You're mauled now. You're done. I say, look, son. I know sometimes we get in a rush, but let me tell you this. If it was anybody else, if it was another man or somebody at your age, and you did this, and you got in his face and confronted him for something that you did wrong, he would have, I use the word, K-I-L-L, sort of, blah, blah, blah. He would have eliminated you by now. He might be this guy who's carrying a sort of firearm. And there are many men who are petty like that. There's men who aren't raised up correctly. They're already angry. They're frustrated. And you're getting in this guy's face. You're in the wrong. Because this guy didn't park next to you like that. You parked next to him. And if anything, you should be apologizing to me. But I ain't going to get you. I'm not going to get you. I'm going to let it go. Because you've been raised wrong. Your mom lied to you. If you don't know your father, especially as a little baby, you don't even know what's going on in your life. You don't even know anything about him, but you want to go by what she said. You don't understand anything about women. And as a matter of fact, when's the last time you got into a fight? And man, what are you talking about, man? I can fight, man. I can fight. And now he's shuffling left and right. Again, the type of guy I am. I'm just standing there like, what are you going to do, child? I can blow on you and you're going to be lost in the wind. Don't play. I ain't got time. I'll just sit right here. I don't need anything to deal with you. I'm just standing there. So I didn't care what he was going to do. He needed a lesson. Listen, mothers, listen. He needed a lesson that his mother couldn't teach him and his father wasn't there to give him. He needed a lesson. And I was one to give it to him. And I'm going to get back to this lesson in just one moment. This is why this is very vital, mothers. This is very vital. You need to know what you're doing to your son. And so he spills the beans again. I play the psychological game on him. I say, yeah, man, I do a little boxing on the side and I do a little training, which is true. Physical training, all that. Now, there's something else I didn't tell you about this story that I'm going to give you now. Here's the Shangri-La, ladies and gentlemen. I had my workout gym shirt on at the time. And I've been told, I'm not telling you about myself, not me. I'm telling you about what other people say. Other people say I look like the Incredible Hulk. And they would not. They said listen. I've heard multiple times they said they would rather, how can I put it for YouTube? They'd rather shoot me than to wrestle with me. Period. One of the guys joked a few times in the gym. He said, would you get into a fight with Leon C. Morpheus? And the guy said, oh, hell no. Absolute no. Hell no. I'd rather shoot him than to, no. You out of your mind? No, I'm going to find something else. Because I know for damn sure if I try to put my hands on him, it's game over. It is a cheating situation. I will not win. And so here's the thing. This boy, listen, mom, that you raised up like a cub, not realizing the real dangers that is before him, had the audacity, and yes, he just explained this. I'm gonna get back to the story. No experience, because here's the thing. I'm getting ahead of myself. No experience in life, babied up by his mom. Are you really, so listen, men, I need y'all to check this out. Have you ever, when you was a kid, or let's say you 12 years old or 13, and you seen this big, tall man that looked like the ultimate warrior? Are you really going to try to get in this man's face and think that you can beat him up, and you're 12 years old? Something in the back of your mind is going to tell you, if I touch this man the wrong way, he's going to step on me and I'm going to be like a pancake. You're not going to run your mouth to this person. So the very fact that this 18-year-old, immature, ignorant boy raised up by a single mom had no idea he was in the face of danger could have been the end of his life. Do you understand what I'm saying? If it was any other man, if it was somebody who just left the prison or going to the prison, if he was this type of, aggressive, non-caring dude, and your 18-year-old boy that you raise up to be a passive puck were to get in his face, you'll be standing at his funeral today. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are some men who don't care about going to prison for any reason. They're not scared of jail. They're not scared about the police officer coming to them and putting them in handcuffs or beating them on top of the head. They will take the responsibility and the consequences as long as they get their anger out on your child. Do you understand what I'm saying? That you didn't raise right. Women don't raise boys up to understand the real life dangers out here. They don't raise them up properly. They raise them up in a unicorn, rubber band, rainbow, chaotic, bizarre world. That's how they get destroyed, ladies. Do you not understand this? These mothers have the audacity to get mad when somebody railroad their child. You get upset. You want to go sue them. You want to take them to court and sue them. You want to persecute them. You want to destroy them. You want to run them down. You want to try to defend your sons, but you're not even raising your sons right to understand the dangers that you prepare them for. You have no idea how disappointed I was looking at this boy's face, looking all pudgy, looking all ridiculously soft, looking at his mom's face through this boy's eyes. I was saddened because I immediately began to think, if it was any other type of dude, and this little boy was getting in his face, do you realize what would have happened, ladies? Do you understand? There are some men who aren't like me. There is men. Just because I won't do it, that don't mean somebody else will not. He might have a bad day. He might be drunk. He might be on some type of drugs or something. And your little child will do this to him with the cars that you're buying for these boys, and you're trying to raise them up the wrong way. Yeah, you raise them up the wrong way. You don't have a father figure in their life, so they don't know what real authority is. This boy never met a real man in his life. Are you understanding what I'm saying? He hasn't been around his father. He don't know what authority is. So when he meets the real McCoy standing right before him, he's not going to respect this guy, and he's going to get destroyed, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, your son's going to get destroyed. You want to know why some officers have to put your child down? It's because of you. You want to know why sometimes they end up in prison at the age of 16, 17, 18? It's because of you. When you don't have a father figure at home, this guy, this little boy, that you've been prepping his whole life without a father figure will not even know how to deal with an authoritative figure. They don't know how to respect other people, and they won't know the differences between when they're doing wrong or right, because you teach them how to be unaccountable and non-responsible, because you want to raise him up to think that he's like you and he's a goddamn boy. You're going to be hating God. You're going to be praying to God. You're going to be swearing to God when somebody put your son out of its misery. Out of all my time counseling, speaking to people, helping people, being a side teacher for people, I have never, ever, 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 ever in my entire life met strange, species type human beings that will raise up their kids and prep them for failure than these strange parents that we have here in this broken down, sick swamp of America. Never. The answers never reach my mind, and never will, and probably never can. How you can sit back and march in the streets. You want to swear up and down you love your child, and specifically your son. You want to promise the heavens and all types of prosperity, but you raise up your sons like they're little girls, and they're not girls. Men need to understand there are consequences. And it can still be the same for girls to talk like that. As a matter of fact, girls are a little bit more loose-lipped than boys are, because they're like, oh, he put his hands on me, he's going to prison. Guess what? There are some boys who don't care about you and your prison. Do you understand? By the time his prison sentence is done, he've already did the deed, bozo. Do you understand there's so many, even daughters, there's so many women who will, your daughter, whether she's 16 or she's 61, okay? I know you'd be dead and gone by then. I'm gonna give you an example. There's so many daughters who would get in a man's face and they will challenge this incredible Hulk of a man, spit in his face, step on his toes, knock his glass out of his hand, cuss him out, probably even kick him in the balls, and think there's no consequences because of you, mom. You raised up this monster to be that way. And then you want to get mad because this beast of a man swipes your daughter and puts her out of her misery, thanks to you. Y'all need to understand, having a man in a boy's life is vital. Telling these girls there is consequences behind their behavior is very, very vital. It's a shame that you've been living your whole space bubble of a life thinking that you have no accountability and no responsibility for your actions, and everybody's going to give you a kid glove. Don't mean that's the same for the next person. You may be 1 out of 100 that got away from the consequences, but the rest of them, they may not be so lucky as you. So when you raise your daughter, or in this case, your son, to not take responsibility and don't care about other people, have no type of compassion, have no type of respect for other people, and it's going to be okay, you're setting yourself up to be not only are you probably already a widow and you, of course, a single mom, but you're preparing yourself to be standing over their gravesite while you are crying, and they're being lowered down to the ground because you raised them up to be that way. You raised them to hurt themselves. There's no way I'm going to go to the zoo and I know that a lion can bite my head off, and there's a fence in front of this lion for a reason. There's a wall in front of this lion for a reason. And you're raising your kids up to say it's okay to jump over that fence. Even if the lion was submissive and docile and already fed, the zookeeper, if it was that type of scenario, would tell you, do not jump the fence. Don't you mess with that lion. The fence is here for a reason. Look at this lion. This lion is bigger than you. Their head is enough to devour your entire torso. Don't you even get near this lion. I'm going to tell you this one time. The next time I tell you, it's going to be in the afterlife. Do you understand? And so what you mothers do not teach your children that there is a barricade for a reason. The only thing you do to your children say, oh, that's a stranger danger. That person or that man, he's a creep. He's strange. Something's wrong with him. I'm scared of men. I don't like men because, they're cheaters. They're this and that. Men are up to no good. That's the only thing you say about men. You never tell your sons or your daughter that, hey, men are not creeps. It's just that you need to respect them. That's where you F yourself up in your child's life. It has nothing to do with the fact that the lion looks creepy. It has nothing to do with the lion looking like a predator or looking stranger danger or looking like some type of monster or creep or jerk. No, not going over that fence is respecting that lion and respecting his nature. I can't make it more simple than that, ladies. You keep raising your kids, these boys, up to be soft. This boy ain't never picked up a boxing glove or fought his entire life. The problem with some of these boys is, and here's the fact, y'all don't like it, but this is the reality. The problem with some of these boys today, they never been punched in the throat before. That's the problem. They never been body slammed. They never been popped in the face. They never dealt with real danger and consequences where if they did something, somebody confronted them and say, oh yeah, but what? Now shut your mouth and say it again. Say it again. You mother. What? I'm sorry. I bet you are. Say it again. I'm sorry. All right. Have a good day and goodbye. They never dealt with that. So because they don't know, listen, this is the real thing. This is the actual lesson here today, ladies and gentlemen. The way single mothers raise up their kids is to not understand real danger and real consequences. And because your kids don't understand nor comprehend real danger and real consequences, you raise them up to deal with those consequences the harsh and the most evilest and the most disturbing way possible, because you don't realize consequences nor responsibility yourself. That's the problems, lady. If he had a man in his life, a man, and he see how tall his father is or how big his father is, and his father would teach him some things. His father can wrestle with this boy. This father can bring him around situations. This father can teach him hunting, show him, maybe even take him somewhere boxing or do some karate or whatever else. He can give this child a reminder and a lesson to teach him that there are boys out here in the world that will play with you, but there are men out there that will put you away. Do you understand what I mean? So when that's not there, you are held responsible because you want to baby your son so much. You want to buy your son so much. Like he said, this car was bought by his mom. You think he cares about the consequences? If he was to run into my car, would it matter? To him, it's like, oh, it's no big deal. You got insurance. Let the insurance take care of it. So what? I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do this to the next person. Let's say, for example, okay, let's go ahead and go into a dream world here. Let's say he did run into my car and I couldn't get in on the inside and, the insurance took care of it. Okay, fine. Let's say he do that to somebody else and the other person do the same thing. Okay, fine. The mama take care of the insurance and all that. Let's say that he do it again to the third person. The fourth person, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth person is high out of their mind where their eyes is red. They haven't gotten any sleep for 2 days. Not only are they high, they're drunk. They're on opioids. They're angry. Their girlfriend just got through cheating on them. Okay? And the child don't belong to them. And they can't pay their house note. And their car is just about to get repoed from them. And their job fired them. Okay? And your son come around and do the same stupid BS that you taught him to do. And this man look at your son like he's crazy and say, man, what the you think you doing parking like that next to my shh? What the is wrong with you? And your son say the same thing he said to me. Man, why you tripping, man? This whole parking lot belongs to nobody, man. You pay for this. Why you bring your... This dude is not Leon C. Morpheus. He just might jump across his car and put your son, or it could be your daughter, 6 feet in the ground, probably even before your very face. Because you made it happen. You didn't teach him any damn thing. You taught him how to be unaccountable. You taught him how to be lazy and to disrespect men. Because what did he say, ladies and gentlemen? My mom told me that my dad was no good and lazy and whatever else. So if he has this in his mind, or if her daughter has this in her mind, how much more a stranger who can put them away? How much more? There's an old statement that old people used to say, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm gonna bring it back into circulation. They used to say fat means greasy. Some people don't understand that fat means greasy. A lot of single mothers don't comprehend that fat means greasy because they live in a bizarre world that they think everything is safe, everything is okay because there's a police officer and there is the law. The law will come late, ladies and gentlemen. You don't understand how it operates. Every day of your life, there's not going to be an officer standing there in any corner of the earth in every area of your life. By the time, even if he's in the parking lot, let's say the officer's on the other side of the parking lot, the police. This dude jumps over the car and does your child over, and your child is not breathing. The officer can run over there all he wants to, even pull out his arms and try to subdue him and put him in handcuffs. It's done. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's finished. It's already done. Your son's already gone. It don't matter what the officer do to this guy. By this time, your children are done. There's no amount of what the officer can do to this guy that's going to bring your child's life back. They come in afterwards to clean up your dumb mess. They come in afterwards to clean up what you didn't teach your child not to do. Because if it came down to the investigation and they had to figure out what the situation is, and there's cameras out there and there's a witness, the witness is going to hear your child open up their goddamn mouth and get sassy, ugly, and nasty with this angry stranger, and that angry stranger is going to deal with them in the worst ways that you don't want to happen. Oh, let me take that back. Wait a minute. No, that you do want to happen since you ain't raising them correctly. And so the state has to step in, the courts have to step in, and the officers and the law enforcement have to step in because you, as a redundant, ridiculous, self-hating, uneducated parent, didn't step in. Because you stepped out. You stepped out of logic. You stepped out of preparing your kids. Once again, you think preparing your kids is to tell them stranger danger. Be careful of the other jerks out there. Be careful of strange people. Be careful that they might hurt you and take you and put you in some type of trafficking situation. That's the only thing you ever think about. But you never think about the other side of the story, that your children put themselves in devastated situations. You tell them all this, but you would never tell them to respect strangers. You would never, and specifically, you would never tell your children to respect men. Men aren't made like women. They're not. There are some men out there who have the potential to do some damage with their bare hands. While you sitting there in your la-la land and you wonder why. Let me stop. Because I think you get the picture. I think you get the story now. It's one thing to say that there's stranger danger, which is rare. Or, oh my God, this guy is creepy. You go, wait a minute, why is he creepy? Because he looks like a lion. Oh yeah? So because he looks like a lion, he's automatically creepy. Are you stupid? Why not just respect this man? Wouldn't it be easier? Wouldn't it be easier, instead of calling him strange and a creep, or odd, or look dangerous, or look like a monster? Why don't you just respect this dude? Why don't you just give him some space? Why don't you just say, okay, it is what it is? Why don't you just teach your kids to say, okay, I respect him. Have a good day. How are you doing this morning? Hello, the weather's hot. Goodbye. Hello, nice. Thank you. Have a pleasant day. And if you say it, I don't say it. Yes, sir. All right, sir. Yes, Mr. So-and-so. And call it a day. You idiots instead be like, well, stranger danger. He's a creep. Worry about what he's going to do to you. In reverse, it's always about what somebody's going to do to you. But what about what you do to them? Oh, shoot. What about what your kids did to them? What about their mouth? In some of them, their hands. There was a story, and I'm going to get off this lesson today, ladies and gentlemen. I want y'all to remember this, and I want you to burn it in your mind. This is not an actual story. This is actually facts. Like what I just told you, it was a real life experience, and the story ended with me walking away and telling this guy, you need to reassess your life and you have a good day. And I told him, don't do it again, because you may not survive. I told this guy that, the boy. I said, don't do it again, because you may not survive. And you know what he said? Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Listen. I'm going to tell you what he said. He said, listen. He said, what do you mean? What do you mean? Let that sink in for a second. Doesn't that confirm this lesson today, what I just said about how mothers don't teach them responsibilities and respect, and to be aware of dangers and consequences and being accountable? Because if a grown man, listen, if a grown man is speaking to another grown man who has experience, who got punched in the throat a few times, who got body slammed, who got hurt or knocked out with the fists in between their nose, okay, or eyeballs. If a man walks away and he says this to another man, and he says, don't do it again because you may not survive, that other man knows exactly what he's talking about. He automatically knows that he just escaped a very bad situation, or he may say something smart back just to prove his pride and his manhood, and a couple of exchanges of words, but he's going to automatically realize this guy meant business. But when I said that to the boy, I wasn't saying it because I was going to do something. I was warning him that he can't keep doing that, because there's going to be somebody else who's not going to talk. They're not going to be Professor Morpheus. They're going to be the devil in physical carnage, who's going to be the undertaker for your child. Do I make myself clear? I always want to think it's the strange person, that he's this evil. There's always another side of the story, people. There's always another side of the story. See, in the newspapers, they'll say, yo, this strange person in the parking lot killed an 18-year-old. That's the only thing you're going to get from the news, or the paparazzi, or these so-called evil media people. They ain't never going to tell you that, what I'm telling you now, that this little 18-year-old was stupid. They was raised wrong by an ignorant, unlearned parent. They ain't going to say that. They're not going to. You see how the story can change real quickly if you understand the other side of the grass? That's why America is ignorant today, because we don't understand that there's another side of the story. There's another coin that we're not trying to look at, because that means it's going to hold us accountable. So here's the story, and let's end this audio because it's gone longer than what I expected it to be. All right. Do you remember the bus driver? Ladies and gentlemen, do y'all remember there was a male bus driver? I think it was a metro bus or a school bus driver. Yeah, I think it was school, but it was a school bus driver. One of the girl students got on the bus, and apparently this little girl, I don't know how old she was, but she was a minor. She had a bad day, probably with her parents. They probably didn't buy her nothing. She was probably spoiled. Either way, the parents did exactly what I told you that perhaps the mother did of this 18-year-old boy. Didn't show her accountability, responsibility, consequences of running her mouth. And most likely she was probably used to getting her way at home, getting in her mom's face and her father's face and punching them, probably pushing them around too. So she got on the bus, and I'm pretty sure the bus driver had a bad day himself. He was already exhausted, and we have our limits. Yes, there's limits for everybody. There is. You may be able to take more than what other people take. Some people, if you throw food at them, they're gonna jack you up. You step on their toes, they're gonna jack you up. You say something like "your mama" or you punk, you knee, you dink, bleep, bleep, mother, you add, and they're gonna. That's it. It's go time by then. They just what the fuck? It's over. By then. There are some people who, lots of people, I can guarantee, if you, and I'm not condoning this stuff, you spit in their face, if you spit in somebody's face, spitting is always a clear sign it's go time. It's time for us to fisticuff, which is a very old statement, meaning we're fighting. If you spit on their shoes, you spit in front of them on the floor, or you spit near them and it misses them, it means we're fighting right now. It's the green sign to say, put your fist up, let's swing. But when you spit in somebody's face, that, for some people, that's the breaking point. Your daughter can be, if they're 13, 14, they may slap the piss out of them. Okay, I don't think they're going to pick them up, body slam them, but, it's possible. You're asking for trouble, because when that adrenaline hits you and you're mad, you don't care about how hard they hit the floor. They're going to be lifted up, and they're going to see the heavens and the stars and probably even Michael up there, and they're going to be slammed down and swear that Jesus sent Michael to put them on earth in the worst way possible. Do you understand what I mean? And it's going to be thanks to you, you redundantly enigma of insufficiency of a parent. I said it. Thanks to you. And that was deficiency, not efficiency. Deficiency. So I didn't see the whole story, but the picture and the video couldn't make the story even more clear. So the daughter jumps on the bus and she does this, that. She gets in the bus driver's face and starts poking at him. You can see on the video where she was physically assaulting this man who was the lion in this situation. Why the hell are you poking a lion? You're not a lion, nor are you Superwoman, especially at 100 and probably 90 pounds. No, meaning she's 90 pounds or 109 pounds. I don't know. Or less. You poking this guy who's possibly 180, 190, maybe 220, who knows, was the dumbest thing for her to do. And guess what happens, parent? What happened? He had enough. She was the straw that broke the camel's back. He got up and he treated her the way she wanted him to treat her. And when I say wanted, I'm not being negative. What I'm saying is, if the zookeeper tells you, well, as a matter of fact, in this story, nobody told her. It's apparently the parents. You take the fall on that one, bozos. So you wasn't a zookeeper like you was supposed to be. You was a failing. Let me stop. You failed yourself, like y'all typically do. Anyhow, she kept poking the lion. The lion got up on its rear legs and front legs. And you can see in the video where this bus driver disgraced himself by teaching that girl a lesson that you are not to mess with people like that, and there's consequences behind bad actions. See, mothers, the title says, got a piece of paper on here. Somebody chiming in, excuse me. All right, back to the lesson here. I rarely get chime in during this type of audio, but it's fine because sometimes those chiming is important, and it's according to our discussions. Okay. The title is "Mothers, Stop This." Now you see why I'm telling you stop this. If we as men were such monsters, why are we telling you to stop doing anything that's going to hurt your kids or even your own future? We're warning you that you may not always survive these situations. And if you don't understand how serious it is to have a father in these children's lives, the day's going to come where you're going to keep finding out on the news that even if it's not a stranger, an officer may have to put your child in handcuffs or mace them or tase them, or in some cases, that bullet is going to have to fly because you didn't do your job at home. You are the teacher. You are the zookeeper. You are supposed to be the mentor, and you're supposed to be the law at home to warn your kids. If you mess with fire, you're going to get burnt badly. And one of the biggest ways that you can teach your child not to respect authority, not to understand consequences, and not to understand that life is very serious and different, is when you take the father out of the home, which is the number one image, energy, and authority that can give that ultimate lesson. And that is the end of this classroom today, ladies and gentlemen. We have learned something, and I expect that you did, to take this stuff seriously. Stop calling men creeps. Just respect them. It's not all about stranger danger. Stranger danger is probably 15%. For the rest of it, it's all about respect. Do you understand? It's not about him looking weird, looking like a jerk, looking like a pervert, looking strange and out of place. No. Stop that stupid, retard, redundant, uneducated BS. It's about you respecting that man more than it is anything else. If they start respecting consequences, responsibilities, and a response to their bad behavior, then you won't have to witness the bad results, and they won't have to witness firsthand the consequences of your bad teaching and those bad results as a whole. I am your provider and your number one teacher of guidance and empowerment in the wow effect, in my version and in my own way, as the one who gives you the RP that will expel your ignorance, because ignorance will not help you to live longevity.